I'm in the house, y'all. I'm in the house. I'm in the house. Black Power. Another epic, another epic video by the general in the house. Everybody know what it is. I hope you got your notebook. God damn it. Cause you're bound to hear some epic shit on the general's live streams. Y'all already know. You know what I'm saying? Y'all didn't check that last joint out on R. Kelly and Michael Jackson. Do yourself a favor. Nigga, run straight to it after this. Nigga, plug in. All right, I see my moderators already in the house. That's what's up. That's what's up. I'm already lined up. Got my monitors up. You understand? But I already know I got them pit bull moderators out there eating all niggas alive. Come on there with that bullshit. To the moderators, if you see a good, comment and it need to be okay, make sure you do that. You know what I'm saying? We want to make sure the family, get a voice on the live stream. I don't know how that shit keep editing out, you know what I'm saying? If a motherfucker say something, you know what I'm saying? But I guess that's cool too. Get a moderator's opportunity to see some shit that don't need to be there. We're going to work today, most definitely, because this is necessary education. You understand what I'm saying? That'll help you. You understand? To weed out all the lies in history. You might as well go to that goddamn bookshelf you got with all them raggedy ass books on there. Get you a goddamn garbage bag and start throwing that shit in there and getting rid of it. Some of you niggas just keep books on the shelf to make it look like you got a whole lot of goddamn books. You know what I'm saying? Goddamn that 95% of them motherfuckers belong in the garbage. You know what I'm saying? You motherfuckers be putting it up in, most of y'all niggas libraries ain't nothing but video props. Oh, I got a whole lot of books. They ain't worth shit. You know what I'm saying? They ain't worth a motherfucking thing. And see, I love empowering the people. You understand? To see through all the madness. Straight up. Then I'm gonna show you how I'm such a vicious scholar that don't allow nothing to get past me. Because I got so many filters, intellectual filters that the information got to go through. You understand what I'm saying? Before I even acknowledge it as a possibility of being the truth. You see what I'm saying? And I'm going to show you how all these fake scholars and historians down through the ages been lying to black people, stealing our history and putting in place nothing but fraudulent information that they just made up 2 damn days ago and got enough nerve to stamp ancient on that shit. Okay? And a lot of people say, you know what, Seti, why you on the indie? I thought the indie, I'm not talking about the Naga cook shots. You understand what I'm saying? But still, even in that respect, they got to bow down to the mother house. That's just first and foremost. All colonies on Mama Africa, they still got to come and pay homage. You still got to put your head down on the floor, nigga, with sacrifices to those who sent you out there with the little bit of knowledge that you had to start up that civilization, because none of the colony civilizations ever came close. Hear me out? Ever came close to the proficiency, you understand, and the advancement of the Nile Valley, Mother Africa. Okay? And so it's I tried to match the I'm starting with India. You know what I'm saying? And to be real, because why do I do this? Because you could go out on YouTube and you got so many videos that speak that India is the oldest civilization. I'm always hearing this shit. They had the oldest city ever known on the planet. What that shit? Harappa, Mohenjo-Daro, and Harappa, and all of this, and that the Hindu religion is the oldest practicing religion on the planet. I say, fool, ain't nothing but a fool. And so you got people saying that, you know, the republic is the oldest institution. And the republic is the republic of Plato. You understand? That nigga is fake as Play-Doh. Plato is fake as Play-Doh. You understand what I'm saying? Ain't got one book, you know, and I'm gonna even break that down. Institution versus the one book mythology that these niggas always coming up with. And I'm gonna show you and prove to you. And you know what? I dedicate this video right here to the master teacher, one of my master teachers, Walter Williams. I'm gonna dedicate this to him. You understand what I'm saying? Because he most definitely inspired me to do a greater work in my own scholarship in this area. You understand what I'm saying? And he caused me to go to areas I wouldn't even known I would have went to if it wasn't for him. You see what I'm saying? So this right here is dedicated to it. And when I lay this out, I hope you're in the house. I hope Hebrews. I hope Muslims. I'm not running from no motherfucking body. Come one, come all. Get your book, nigga. Get your one book. That's all you got, nigga. Bring it on, and I'm gonna eat that motherfucker live. You understand? Get to all my family out there. As you watching this video, you can get you a garbage bag. You understand what I'm saying? And as I go down this shit, you can go and start grabbing books off of your library and start putting that shit right on in the garbage. That's what you can do. Do yourself a favor, and then that way, whatever you take off, I'll give you a book list where you can put you some real information up there. Okay, quit playing yourself. Quit using that shit for a fucking video prop. That's what most of you niggas doing. All right? And so, again, and when I, you know, just to lay it out, and I went in, you know, I went and watched, you know, videos by Indians. So the information I got directly from it because I knew it didn't make no difference. You know, most of that shit is embellishment. And, you know, and what embellishment is when you don't have none, you create a goddamn story. You understand what I'm saying? And, you know, whether it's Greek, and like I say, the academy, not the republic, the academy, okay, of Plato. And that was supposedly is the first institution, like a university or so in the Western world. And I'm gonna prove that's nothing but a goddamn lie. They don't like it. Any college professor out there, any yoga masters, swamis, any imams, any rabbis, or any other motherfucker out there that they got their shit together and they got a few medals on their chest. They got a little rank. I can't debate no little nigga. I can't debate no little Indian. I want a big Indian. Go get the chief. If y'all could do that for me, I'm more than willing to set your ass on fire. Come on, come on. I'm encouraging you to bring your very best. You understand what I'm saying? And I guarantee you, your ass still gonna get burnt alive. Guaranteed. You see what I'm saying? Just warming up today. Y'all know how I do. I can feel the fire, you know, starting to, you know, turn inside of me. So I know it's gonna be a hell of a night. You understand what I'm saying? And you need this. You know, when you get away from here, you didn't advance. Each motherfucking video, when you come away from General, your ass didn't advance extremely. You should have a certain level of intelligence at that point that you can immediately start shooting shit down with no problem if you go by the list. You need to get you a pen and a paper, or you can always come back to this video and watch it again and then record the information. You see what I'm saying? And so we starting off with India. Not really a fight. Not really a fight. This almost, a lot of people say ancient Egypt versus ancient India. That shit gonna be like Mike Tyson versus Marvin Frazier. That's gonna be like Mike Tyson versus Marvin Frazier. That shit lasted like 30 seconds and he was out. Shortest fight in heavyweight history. Shortest fight in motherfucking heavyweight history. Okay? Now, what I tried to do is to match it up in certain areas. You know what I'm saying? Now, like when it come time for the battle to go between Egypt and Greece. Now, Greece and Egypt, you know, got some similarities in the temples. You know, because the Greeks borrowed strictly from the Egyptian temple. And so they got some of the same columns. And so it's a part of that where I'm gonna match the columns up in the temple to see who had the greatest achievement in the columns and the size of the temples and this, that, and the third. Now the Indians didn't have them same kind of temples. You know, even though they had columns, you know, they wasn't that big. So it ain't even no fight there. You know what I'm saying? Even in size, it's no fight. Nowhere. And technically, but I wanted to break it down. Literally. And it's a damn shame that y'all allow these Peckerwoods and these damn Indian so-called scholars to bluff you out of your history. Because really, you could put India, Greece, Rome, and the damn Mayan civilization together, and they wouldn't even have a goddamn chance against Egypt when you really lay it out. You can put them all together. And let me throw this fact out there, and I got many more facts about ancient Egypt. And you can look this up. When you're talking about all the great museums in the world, okay? And there ain't nothing but storehouses of thievery. That's all it is. Ain't nothing in there belong to their ass. It's always somebody else's artifacts. You know, somebody else's history that they done stolen and piled in some, you know, stolen storehouse and stolen cachet of other people's artifacts that they call a museum. Over half of the artifacts in all the world's museums, over half coming from the ancient world is Egyptian. Over half. That's facts. You see what I'm saying? And, you know, when you're talking about an international, world-renowned museum, its major component in that museum is the ancient Egyptian component. Hands down. Hands down. When you go to the British Museum in London, you understand what I'm saying? You know what they got their centerpiece as? The Rosetta Stone. You see what I'm saying? When you come right on in, and when you come through the door, and the Rosetta Stone sitting down there right there in the middle to let you know that's their centerpiece. And you walk right into one of the Egyptian storehouses. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, the Sumerian shit, that shit ain't nothing. It's around there somewhere. Yeah, it's right around you make a corner, but it ain't in nowhere of, you know, the level of ancient Egypt. Okay? And they done stole so much from all around the world. Me and Pharaoh, we'll be doing the Catholic Church, the 27th. Y'all need to be in the house. We're gonna work out. We're gonna work the dynamic duo, gonna work out. And I'm most definitely, I ain't giving y'all none of that until that time. So when you show up, I'm gonna blow up and I'm gonna expose the shit out of them, like not the normal, you know, tendency to get that, oh, this is Peter, and no, we're going deeper than that. We peeling that goddamn peel up off of there. That's surface shit. We tired of all that surface shit you niggas is reading out there. We're going way deeper than that. You see what I'm saying? But where I'm at here. We talking about, you know, the greatest civilization of all time that nobody's claiming. You know, we can't be you know, satisfied with saying this is us. And we still got the intruder still on the sacred soil of Mama Africa, digging down in the ground, always violating the sacred, you know, burials of our ancestors. Got our artifacts all over the world. Our babies can't even go see it. You understand what I'm saying? They and don't even need to have to go see it. It should be in the motherland with the rest of the artifacts, the temples, and so on and so forth. But we got a mass thievery, just like they stole us. They stole our artifacts. Yeah, and just like we in a land that's not of our own, or we didn't come here of our own will. Many of us did not come here of our own will. So it is with the artifacts. And so we just like the museum ain't nothing but a prison. And so we no different than the animals. Is behind bars, you know, and the damn artifacts is behind bars, and our ass is behind bars. And if they ain't physical bars, they mental bars. You know what I'm saying? Some of you niggas just like they got that invisible shit they could put on, and motherfucker go out there and shock the shit out their ass. You don't even need no fence up there. And after a while, if you keep going to that point and that shit shock you, in your psychological mind, you shut down, don't even go out there. And if the motherfucker could take off the collar, you wouldn't even still walk out there without the goddamn collar. Okay? Now, let's be clear. Let me some of the most important things about Egypt. I'm gonna just warm up the people tonight. Okay? Come one, come all. Come on in and have a sit down. Get your babies out. You understand what I'm saying? Let them get some paper out. Let them get some understanding about ancient Egypt. Okay? Now, number one, Egypt, and when I speak of Egypt, I'm also speaking of Nubia. I'm also speaking of Aksum. I'm speaking of the Nile Valley civilization. Okay? It just moved up and down the river. You understand? When it came to a certain period, you understand, of rulership, really was no boundary line. The boundary line that y'all see today was put there by the Europeans in the 1800s. These are not ancient boundary lines. You understand what I'm saying? Depending on where the Pharaoh came from on that river, that would dictate the limits of the civilization at that time. So it moved. You understand? Just like many, you know, even when you're talking about Mali and you're talking about Songhay and you're talking about Ghana, you know what I'm saying? Of the fact that it's you know, they got a lot of herding and so on and so forth, and if a lot of the vegetation, you know what I'm saying, ceased to grow at a period of time, they had to move to where there was graze for their animals. They couldn't just sit there. So them boundary lines could change at any given time. So Egypt is the longest lasting historical civilization. See, that's a fact. That's a fact, number one. Now, you can let the white man count your pockets, which I never do. You understand what I'm saying? But I will give you the white man's his chronology, which if he lying all the goddamn time, you cannot accept it at all. You understand what I'm saying? They didn't shave tens of thousands, hundreds of years. So it has seemed like we kind of developed at the same time. I'm going to get to these slides in just a second. You understand what I'm saying? But, you know, I don't want to spoil y'all yet. You know, I want to get y'all warmed up so when y'all hit these slides, you hot, okay? So Egypt lasted continuously, continuously, with no break in the civilization. 3,000 years, 3,000. And I'm going to add something on top of that they should have added by now, because they've already done research that proves that the divine kingship that you see in Egypt was already established, crown and all, which you call the crown of Upper Egypt, the one you see on Osiris. That's the crown of Upper Egypt. was already being won by Nubian kings almost 800 years before Egypt, the first dynasty of Egypt, was even formed. They found these royal burials at Kustul, which is down by Abu Simbel. I'm most definitely going to show you that, okay? And so now, you know, what we talking about, a divine king, okay? A divine queen, meaning that you are ordained by God, him or herself, to sit on the throne. So the Egyptian king, the Nubian king were divine kings, and this is the first divine kingship that you see in history, okay? The first king you ever seen, queen, you ever seen sit on the throne. When you see Osiris and you see the first kings of Egypt, and even the incense, it's an incense burner that they found in Kustul, Nubia, with a Nubian king sitting on the same throne with the same crown. So you see right there, we talking about a throne. We talking about a crown to sit on a king's head. So this is the first time you see that in history, not with embellishment. You understand? Made up shit. That's what embellish, when you ain't really got nothing. Like they go out there and you will see a mud mound in Mesopotamia, and then they'll come and draw you a beautiful Babylon, the hanging gardens of Babylon and all that. It's not there. So the actual drawing to fool you as how it looked, or if it even was there, that's embellishment. Thank all the family for your support. That's embellishment. See, when you go to Egypt, you don't need no goddamn embellishment. It's there. Everything that I'm going to show you about Egypt is still there, so you can go and see it. And then when it come time for India and this, that, and the third, you understand, it really ain't no fight. You understand what I'm saying? I'm trying to, you know, keep it, you know, I got this more than half of this going to be on Egypt alone. Because you're going to see immediately that they've been lying to the world. God damn it, as long as they could open up their goddamn mouth, they've been lying, okay? Egypt invented modern architecture, okay? When we go back to Imhotep, and I'm going to show this. You understand what I'm saying? We're talking about Imhotep, and to all my family out there that know our great architect, the great physician, the world's first recognizable physician. The first architect to put a stone building above ground. Now they all, you know, some of the earlier architects had a stone up under, you know, like in the smaller barriers. You know, before the pyramids, it was some stone down in the subterranean part of the mastaba. The upper portion might have been of mud brick. But Imhotep was the first to build above ground. You understand? Recognizable. You understand? The other ones, if they did, it didn't fell down. But we talking about a skyscraper, more than one level. You understand what I'm saying? So Imhotep is recognized as the first multi-genius that ever lived, and he's still, the building is still there, 2700 BC. And these people, and when you see Imhotep, he gonna be just like the god Suten. So you always see him just like this, with the book in his lap, right there. And he's at 2700 BC. And these motherfuckers got enough nerve to tell you and me that they invented writing. And you can see Imhotep at 2700 BCE, which is probably a damn lie. We're going to assume that the white man lied about everything. We're not going to assume he's telling the truth about nothing. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's not to his advantage to tell us the truth. So we see Imhotep, and you can go look it up, and we're going to see it anyway. You understand? With scrolls, a book in his lap. Okay? The oldest royal burials. Okay? We're going to go over that. 430 pyramids between Egypt and Sudan. A lot of people always looking at down the big pyramids down at Giza. You know, of Khufu, Khafra, and Menkaure. You see what I'm saying? But you got to understand, it's over 430 pyramids. between Egypt and the Sudan. And here's the crucial part about it. Even if the ones that wasn't to the to the level of the Great Pyramids, they still had the subterranean burial. You understand what I'm saying? That still left massive evidence. So even if it fell down on the top, you can still go up under and find massive evidence of who the individual king or queen was. And we see just as many burials, royal burials for the queen, for the woman, as you see for the man. Okay? We got the oldest king list. Okay? We're not talking about no embellished king list. You got about 2-3 kings list. You got the Palermo stone, and it really, and see these names, you're gonna say, well, goddamn, that ain't got nothing to do with Egypt. That's right. That's the thief that took it. That's the goddamn thief that took it. So Palermo is in Italy. So the thief, it was, if you get this book called Rape of the Nile by I think it's Brian Fagan. It's called Brian Fagan, who wrote the book Rape of the Nile. Go get that book if you could get it. And it'll tell you how they went in there with no respect, just destroying. It'll tell you how them damn Muslims, them damn Pashas, them goddamn Ottoman Turks gave them Europeans all the permits to go in there and break everything, dig mummies up, with no limitation. Long as they paid for their permit and gave them what they needed, that show you right there that they at no point in time thought ancient Egypt was their ancestors. The only reason they tried to steal Egypt because now tourism is a major economy. Okay, but when they went in there, they let the European, giving the European all kind of permits to go in there and do all what they did. I'm about to put these slides up. Just want to get y'all warmed up. So we got the old, and if you go to the temple of Abydos, I know as many of my family out there been home to Egypt. You went to the temple of Abydos and you see the king's list in there. And that temple was built by my ancestral father, Seti the first, father of Ramesses II. Okay, and you see in that temple a king's list of 76 kings from the first king. And that's crazy because it's not like they remembering from their mind. They have been recording for over 3,000 years, and that's serious. Egypt did not, you would think like most civilizations, when they start off in the earliest period, that they developing and they develop into, when they get to the latter part of the civilization, they at their greatest extent. But that's not true with ancient Egypt. You're going to see that the Great Pyramids were built in the Old Kingdom. That Imhotep built the Pyramid of Saqqara for his Suten, Zoser, which is spelled D-J-O-S-E-R, Zoser. You understand what I'm saying? Around 2700 BC. That's the third dynasty. You see what I'm saying? And then behind him comes Sneferu, Khufu, Khafra, and Menkaure in the fourth dynasty. So you talking about the most massive structures that ever been built on this planet was built in the earliest period of ancient Egypt. Very significant. Egypt came into existence full blown, and and people say, how could they? It's impossible for them to have started off because they try to cut it off from Nubia and not show you the development. You got to immediately cut these damn Europeans and these Arab scholars and all wannabe scholars, cut their ass off and get back to the master teacher. Okay? Invented paper and ink and the pen. And that's significant because when you go look it up and you go to any university, you hear me? And we got to understand that history, what we call the science and art of history, starts with writing. So you're not a historical people until you got a writing. You see what I'm saying? And so we see that not only Egypt invented paper, which comes from papyrus. So we know you didn't have no books. I don't want to hear nothing about no writing on the back of no damn goat skin. I don't want to hear nothing about no inferior technology. You see what I'm saying? We're talking about the primary technology that took the planet to where it is right now. And when you go down there to the library, you ain't got no damn, and I'm gonna show you all the great libraries of the world, all the universities. When I'm getting to the institution, is teaching y'all about institution so that you can determine for yourself, not what Seti said, not what Dr. Ben said, what you say of yourself through your own research. Okay, it's one thing to get a good teacher, and that's cool, but you got to get understanding for yourself. So you got to see the rules of science and history. So when you start to filter this information, you weed out the garbage and keeping that which is primary and best. You see what I'm saying? So we understand that papyrus is the root of paper. How the fuck is you gonna have paper and you ain't got? And so until you had a contact with Egypt, they didn't have no goddamn books. I don't hear nothing about no Greeks, no Plato, no Socrates, or none of that. What the fuck did they write? They say these men had all these thousands of goddamn books. And I'm gonna show you how they've been lying about that shit. And talking about they went to the Library of Alexandria, all these great scholars at that time, once the Greeks took over Egypt, and they built this great research center called the Library, and you write library, because it's a goddamn lie. And that all the books and shit of the great Greek philosophers and all that was taken to Alexandria, and then the shit burned down. That's a hell of a excuse, you understand, to not have no research from no primary books from none of your damn scholars. You see what I'm saying? Not one. And I must state that. You see? And I'm going to prove hands down that the Greeks were not illiterate people, which means if they did not have a language, they didn't have no language, because it's going to be hard for me to believe you got a motherfucking language and you ain't got nothing. What are you gonna write it? I mean, what the fuck is you doing? How would you spell it? How would you define it if you ain't even got paper and ink, this shit, to write this shit down? Okay? How's that? So the language got to be, it ain't gonna, advance unless you got the technology for the advancement. So paper and ink, you understand, and the pen was the necessary instruments that advanced language, advanced the sciences, because some of this shit gonna get so advanced that you cannot remember it in your head. So it's necessary for you to file it, okay? And paper is so, where you can put a lot of information just on a couple pages. You ain't gonna be able to, and you can come out to the building of the pyramid with you and roll it, and you can roll a scroll, and goddamn, you can put so much information, just roll it in a scroll to where you can have damn hundreds of feet of scroll and shit, and you can just unroll it, and that's damn near a library on a damn scroll. You understand? You can't do that with no goat skins and shit. You know what I'm saying? And no damn little, the Sumerians, they got a little clay tablet. Ain't gonna be able to do it. You have to have so many damn tablets, nigga, and I don't know where you're gonna put them damn little clay cookies and shit like that. You're not gonna be, you need to work out, mathematic problem. You mean to tell me you're gonna work some goddamn math out on a little ass cookie? You see what I'm saying? So you got to do better than that. Okay? The oldest known university system. Let me bring the slides up, family. We're in the house. We're in the house. We about to work out today. We about to work out today. I'm gonna be in and out as I but you know what? I do want to deal with this first. You know what I'm saying? But I'll start right here. I'll start right here. Okay, family, we're in the house. And you can see right here again, we already spoke to this just a few minutes ago. You see right there, one of the greatest minds that ever walked the planet, arguably the greatest mind that ever walked the planet, the Suten. He wasn't a Sultan, but he my Sultan. You understand? The Grand Vizier, the Prime Minister of Zoja, which is the last ruler of the third dynasty. Okay, and so he was his architect. He was his physician. He was the what you call when you the surgeon general of the nation. He was so many things at one time. He was a poet. You see what I'm saying? And being not only the surgeon general, he was the prime minister and also the architect. I say, damn, how many positions can one person hold at one time? And Imhotep lived around 2700 BC. And if you look clearly, he's always shown with a scroll in his lap. And people, when they try to, front like Sumeria invented, you understand what I'm saying? Writing and all this, that. Listen here, this man sitting on a chair with a scroll before damn near 1,000 years before Sumeria even came into existence. Okay, this is a primary artifact, meaning primary mean it was created during the time in which we speak. It wasn't it wasn't a secondary reference. Is only a reference that is using first primary references. Okay, so meaning this video is a secondary reference. Even though I'm using primary references, what you see on the screen is a primary reference. This video is a secondary reference. Okay, it's not a primary reference. This video wasn't created in 2700 BC. So I'm speaking about a primary reference. Okay, and what you're seeing is it was created during the time of 2700 BCE or even earlier. You see what I'm saying? And like I say, they try to create this falsified chronology so a lot of people can see Sumeria, Greece, and Rome about, evolving around the same time, which is so undamn true. Okay, so let's move forward. Okay, you're looking at, now this is the Palermo stone. And what it is a dynastic list. Now this is a primary reference. Now let me be clear to you right off the bat. Not Greece, not Rome, not India, not the Olmec, not the Mayan. None of them civilizations have a dynastic record of all the kings. You understand? From the actual time of the civilization. Not one. So when you go back and you listen to the Greeks, they're going to have an area of legendary kings that they have not one primary reference to prove that any of them goddamn kings ever lived. And that goes for the Indian. All of that shit is embellishment. So what I'm showing you right now is a primary reference. And that's what you should deal with. You should deal with primary references. Okay? You can make your own secondary interpretation. You don't need another motherfucker to look at a primary reference and tell you what it means. You can look at it your goddamn self and do that. So on this stone right here, you see is one of the different fragments of a stela known as the royal annals of the old kingdom of ancient Egypt. The stela contained a list of kings of Egypt from the first dynasty. So, when you talking about the first king of Greece, the first king, all of that shit is legendary. They have no artifact whatsoever from that time or even close to that time. All of that shit come thousands of years after the damn fact. It never happened. They created to give themselves an appearance of being ancient when they're not an ancient people. We the only ancient people. And when I show you this, you should immediately, you got to understand, If Greece and Rome is ancient, what the hell are we? What the hell are we? We beyond ancient. We extremely ancient. We so goddamn ancient, we got to come up with another goddamn word for it because it's not even close. And then the word should be totally different than a word that's used for these just yesterday ass civilizations. We cannot be in the same damn class with these people. We got damn, 10 classes up from these Greeks, Romans, and India. Okay, now the stela contain a list of the kings of Egypt from the first dynasty, hear that out, 3150, 2890 BCE, through the earlier part of the fifth dynasty, 2392, 2293. Okay, now a lot of people will say that this is one of the earliest artifacts from ancient Egypt where you see the language, okay? Where you see the language. Now, if this is 2392 to 2283 BC, and you come right here and see Imhotep at 2700 BC, obviously they didn't start here, okay? They didn't even start with Imhotep, okay? Our people, if he's already got a scroll on his lap, I would even say that, at least 3,000 years before Imhotep, they were already, had reached a level where we were writing, where we had a fully developed language. We, you know what I'm saying? A fully developed vocabulary with dictionaries, encyclopedias of all subjects. You understand what I'm saying? And so this stone right now is in Italy, Palermo, Italy, and this is where they get, the name Palermo stone, even though it ain't got nothing to do with it. It was never created in Italy, and this just show you how big a thieves them goddamn Italians are. They was one of the biggest damn thieves, along with the British and French. Now, when you come over here, these is the earliest kings, and listen, they have no documents like these, original from these times to show you. And even then, you see if you go all the way to the top, you got Kuru dynasty, 1200 BC. This India, to 500 BC. Now, if you come down, you'll see 2.1 legendary kings. Okay, that means you ain't got no goddamn documents. You don't have no documents to prove these legendary kings. So they ain't nothing but folklore. And then you come down to 2.2, you look at the dates. You talking about 779 BC. You talking about at the top. How the hell you gonna come on and we already got kings on the goddamn throne at 3000 BC, and you come over to India and y'all motherfuckers just getting started around 500 BC. Let's be real about it, okay? Just around about 500, you can go down through that. I wouldn't even take my time because it's most of them dynasties, 779 BC to 540 BC, that's when Egypt then fell. Shit, what is you talking about? I don't even need to go through that. They just getting started when our shit ends. And that go with the Greeks, that go with the Romans, that go with the Indian, that go with the fucking Sumerian too. They just getting started when our shit is ended. That's where all these motherfuckers come on the scene. So I want to be clear about that. Now, look at this. This right here is what you call the pyramid text. Now, outside of the Palermo stone, because this was created, it was made during the fifth dynasty. Now, you got the pyramid text, and that's at Saqqara too. That, was constructed by, the biggest pyramid was constructed, and the oldest was constructed by Imhotep. And you're going to see that, many kings will build at a pyramid field, down through the dynasties and so on and so forth. So in this same pyramid complex of Saqqara that was first constructed by Imhotep, you will see what they call pyramid text. Only in these earliest pyramids will you see this kind of writing on the wall. Now, this is just one wall in this, and I was down there, and I'll show y'all, later on, not today. You know, I was down there. In every wall, you talking about hundreds of thousands of glyph combinations. This ain't nobody just getting started. These people got whole libraries, and you know, probably if you took them down and put them on paper, you probably had libraries of information on one pyramid. You see what I'm saying? This is not a people that just getting started. Okay, this is a people that's complex in thought. You got all type of spiritual rituals and ceremonies, and it probably took tens of thousands of years for the damn rituals, spiritual rituals to even form. Okay, so you looking right here. Look at this from the top to the bottom. You talking, that's just one side of the pyramid, and this is in the subterranean in the bottom. Okay, this ain't at the top, this at the bottom. The pyramid then fell down. You see what I'm saying? So when you go down and you got to go down into the basement of the pyramid, and this is where you will see this. And so this is just one side of the pyramid. You know what I'm saying? You got 2, 3, 4 more sides in this room, and then you could go in through a door and you're gonna find, you know, you always got 4 walls, and then you got the ceiling. You see what I'm saying? So you are talking about hundreds of thousands of glyph combinations on one pyramid. This is at 2345, 2333 BC. Understandably, it could be far older. This is in the 6th dynasty. Okay, we're not talking about no little clay cookies or nothing like that. We are talking about a super complex understanding. Okay, for them people our people to be able to put that many combinations of letters and, you know, symbolisms that they only knew because it was a secret order, and only the initiates would have known what the information was. So don't let no white man tell you he know what the fuck it mean, because the white man was still crawling around on all fours in a goddamn cave at this time. Okay. So we looking right here. The pyramid texts are the oldest known corpus of ancient Egyptian religious texts dating to the Old Kingdom. This in the Old Kingdom now. This in the beginning. How the hell you gonna start off? You already fully developed. You see what I'm saying? That's what you got to understand. Egypt was fully developed when it began. You see what I'm saying? We know where the first king is. And it ain't no mythology. We know exactly where his burial was. Okay, and we know where it's at today. Okay, written in old Egyptian, the pyramid text were carved onto the subterranean walls in sarcophagi or pyramids at Saqqara from the end of the 5th dynasty throughout the 6th dynasty of the Old Kingdom and into the 8th dynasty of the first intermediate period. Okay, and so these is the kings and queens. See, we didn't leave out the queen, because the queens also had pyramid texts. Okay, showing you that we as a people were fully developed and balanced. So you can go off into you won't even find a damn queen. You won't even know who the hell the queen is, because she didn't mean nothing. She didn't get no burial. Matter of fact, I dare you to find one king of Greece. I dare you to find one tomb. One goddamn tomb, not 2, 1. If you can come and find me one, please get with me as soon as possible. Any Greek scholars out there, any Roman scholar, could you get with me and show me where one Greek tomb is? Can you show me where one Greek original scroll from Plato, Socrates, and one? I didn't ask for 2, I just asked for 1. Looking at these states where the tombs were filled up with writing like this, fully developed. Okay, don't let them play with you. We're looking at the Ebers papyrus. Okay, this is at 1550 BC. We're working with this written language right now. So when you see that, not only did we have the Masonic scribes are scribes that carve in the stone. We even got we got the papyrus scribes. You see what I'm saying? So this is showing you the various levels and various schools of scribing in Egypt. That show you that this ain't just getting started. This shit done developed tens of thousands a year. I mean, Egypt had over 5 or 6 forms of writing. You got the hieroglyphs, which is just, symbols. And then I'm gonna show you, you had a cursive form of the hieroglyphs. Then you had the hieratic, which is a cursive priestly form. Then you had the demotic, which is a quick script. It's not the hieratic. It's a quick cursive script that was used basically for receipts and trading and this, that, and the third. This is strictly a priestly script. Only the priest would have known, and you can see where Arabic come from. Now that don't mean, just because you take a letter that you know what it means. You got your alphabet out of this system. Okay, you took letters to make your 26 letters. You understand what I'm saying? But that does not mean that they had the same understanding as the ancient Egyptians, because they did not. You see what the so-called Phoenician and all of that come up out the ancient Egyptian script. Okay? And so this is a medical text right here. Okay? And just because you got one page right here, that don't mean that's all, because they will cut the damn papyruses up to steal them up out of there with their thieving ass. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Wallace Budge with his thieving ass cut the book of Annie. It was a scroll. He cut it up into 37 pieces, and silly ass forgot how the fuck it was originally put together with his dumb ass. Gonna cut it up because he was stealing it. You see what I'm saying? Then you got the Hearst papyrus, medical papyrus. Okay, at 2000 BCE. Now, some people say this came at the time of Tutmosis, which was around 1700 BC, but there's inference of, earlier times even before him. And this is the papyrus of Ani at 1250 BC. This is the one I'm talking about. Now, you gonna look at this and you think this was one scroll. And so they don't know how it got 37 parts to this scroll. So this is 1, here's 2, here's 3, here's 4, here's 5, here's 6. You see what I'm saying? Do you see this? This ain't nobody, man. We are the most advanced in all writing, all technology, and you cannot reach the level of civilization that ancient Egypt reached without institution. Okay, this is 5, this is 6. You got to understand this was one scroll, and I didn't put but so many on here, and they going, and that don't mean they in order, because they lost the order when they cut it up. You see what I'm saying? So now let's go on over to the ending. Let's go on over to the ending. And then I'm gonna shoot this shit down real quick. Where the Indian shit at? Where they little scrolls at? Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go right here. Here we go right here. Now, this is talking about some of the oldest Hindu books in Sanskrit, which is the language in which they speak. Now, this is scholars at the Asiatic Society, Kolkata, were elated when they stumbled upon a brand new manuscript, Ramayana, hidden away in a little-known Sanskrit library in Kolkata. The manuscript, which is from the 6th century AD, will likely displace the 12th century rendition by Tamil poet Kamba as the second oldest version. The widely known 4 BC Ramayana by Valmiki is still the oldest known version. Okay? So you just talking about the turn from AD, BC to AD. And so, right, let me show you. Now, this is from Marhin Daro, Marhin and Harappa, the 2 cities of the Indus Valley. Okay, now they still with, one little animal and a few this is a seal. Okay, now them dates is very questionable. And if they at that late date They don't have no manuscripts. Okay, let's be clear. Let me come out of it. Let me go. Matter of fact, let me move this up. Let me go and move this up so I can go to goddamn work. I can't be coming way back down here. I can't be coming way back down here at all. Let me move this shit on up so I can go to work. That's crazy. It just shut down on me. That's all right. Come on back. Come on back, baby. Come on back to me. Come on back to me. Okay. I got so many damn lectures up. This motherfucker shutting down. That's how I had to come. I had to come with all my shit. Let me shut this one out. Let me shut that one out. All right. We still in the house, family. It probably so heavy. I got so much stuff up, it don't even want to move. But that's all right. I'm going to go right back to where I was. Now, the first king of India, okay? Now, they're going to put up them other ones, but we talking about a united nation. You talking about the great ruler, Chandragupta Mauryan, who founded the Mauryan dynasty, was undisputably the first king of India. Okay, so we're not talking about little segments. You see what I'm saying? Of the civilization. We're talking about India as you know it today. You understand what I'm saying? United. You understand? In the land of India today. Okay, he not only won almost all the fragmented kingdoms in ancient Egypt, but also combined them into a large empire, boundaries of which were even extended to Afghanistan towards the edge of Persia. So you talking about Chandragupta, you talking about he came on the scene. We're gonna get down to it. So you looking down at 2.9, you talking about in the Common Era. No, in the Mauryan. That's wrong. Mauryan dynasty, which is 2.6. And that's 321 BC to 1855 BC. Okay, I give them which one they want. It still do not compare to going back to 3100 BC. Okay, now let's get back to their writings. Okay, let's get back on to their writings. Okay, the Vedas, you niggas all off into the Hindu. Okay, and when I get this, I'm gonna get off into institution before I get off into the temple. Okay, so the Vedas are the oldest religious scriptures available to us. Okay, and so you go down, the four Vedas is the Rig Veda, the Yajurveda Veda, Samar Veda, the Athra Veda. Okay, Vedic literature was composed by the knowledgeable Pandits or Brahmins of that era. Okay, the Puranas are holy books of Hinduism that date back to the Gupta Empire in ancient India. Okay, just tell it. Let me bring that on down. It need to be on down here with his people. Let me get him on down here with his people so he can work out. Okay? Right here. So let's go back. So these Vedas and these niggas out around here keep talking about the Hindu religion is the oldest religion, all this bullshit. Or say, so the oldest Vedas, the oldest religious scriptures available to us. See what I'm saying? This is from the Indies, okay? And these Purana are the holy books of Hinduism that date back to the Gupta Empire in ancient India. We go over here, 2.9, that's 240 to 605 of the Common Era. Now, I don't know what is wrong with you, Negro. I mean, goddamn, I mean, you ain't got to be the best in mathematics. But goddamn it, I know damn well you can subtract 2700 BCE from the great Imhotep, and we can go further than that. We can go further than that, but we'll go right to Imhotep, 2700 BC to Gupta dynasty at 240, 605 of the Common Era. Anybody in their right mind can see that the Hindu religion ain't even close to being the oldest religion on the planet Earth. Let's just be real about that. Okay, let's just be real about that. These is actual facts. And I can't even, the thing is, I look for the scroll. You can never get a goddamn image of the damn scroll nowhere. Okay, so if you don't see nothing, just like if I put up the most monumental Egyptian papyruses, they come right up. Book of Annie, the Hearst papyrus, you know what I'm saying? The Edwin Smith papyrus, and so on, pop right on up. But when it comes to that shit, you can never get a goddamn an original or nice photo or nothing. Okay, so here we go. What was the first Indian civilization? Now they're gonna say Harappa, okay, which is on the Indus River. Okay, now that's today in Pakistan. I'm gonna show y'all some images. Let me get y'all some images up here. Let me get y'all some images up here. I got to get so many goddamn hard drives. I got so much shit is ridiculous. Let me get to the top. Let me get to the top. Get all the way to the top. This is a nice one. This one, you know what? I had that other one. But if you can see right there, you know what I'm saying? You see the Indus River. And then you see Mohenjo-Daro, and you see Harappa. Okay? And so you can see that the civilization started not in the land, because at one time Pakistan was a part of India. See, when the British went over there, just like they colonized Africa, they colonized Asia. And they separated Pakistan because Pakistan was mostly Muslim. And so they separated that. You know, and gave the Muslims their own nation. And that's today Pakistan. Okay? But you can see it started on the side closest to Africa. All of them. You understand what I'm saying? Because the Africans was coming, it ain't no damn Arabian Sea. That's the Sea of Punt. Okay, that's the Sea of Punt. Ain't got nothing to do with no Arab, because the Arab was a goddamn goat herder. He never was on no damn sea. I'm sick of y'all motherfuckers just doing illogical shit. Why would you name a sea after a goddamn goat herder? They didn't know nothing about no damn boats and no damn ships. I'm sick of that. They learned that from the Africans. They were primarily moving all of their trade on land by goddamn camels. And that's the facts. I'm sick of y'all niggas. You know, naming some shit. That's just like naming, that's like motherfucking naming some flip-flops, or saying some flip-flops was the original shoes of a goddamn Eskimo. And that motherfucker up in the goddamn Arctic region. What the fuck would an Eskimo be wearing flip-flops for? You know, goddamn well his motherfucking feet would freeze up there and some shit like that. So that's illogical to name a sea after a goddamn goat herder, and you know goddamn well them motherfuckers was confined to the damn land. They didn't know nothing about no damn water at all. They don't even know how to wash up, let alone get in the damn sea. The hell you niggas talking about? Motherfucker don't even watch the fuck up. They don't know nothing about no damn war. Okay? So that's the Sea of Punt. Okay, and you can see even Babylon, and that's a nice, and you can see Mohenjo-Daro was where they found most of the cylinders that I showed you. They found most of them at Mohenjo-Daro. Okay, and you can see it's moving from what you call the Sea of Punt up to Harappa. Okay, that's how it's moving. And so when you look at Mesopotamia, you see the earliest part is down there by Babylon because the Africans are sailing in, and the port of entry, the port of connection, is where they build their earliest, cities. Their earliest colonies will be right where they land. So they moving from Babylon, Mohenjo-Daro, up the damn river. Okay? Let me come back out of that. Here's some more supposed, this is a Purana script from 15th to 18th century. They don't have no literature. All of these is from the 15th to the 18th century. Okay? This is some of the earliest literature from India. Okay, now if you go up on the internet, do your research, I guarantee you it'll be hard as hell to find some original scripts from the Indian. Okay, now let me go on off into this institution. Let me get on off into this institution, and I'm gonna come back to some shit so you'll know what I mean. What is institution versus the one book mythology? Now, number one, the first thing that you got to have. Now, what's the institute? We talking about even government today, even a university, public school system. You got to have an alphabet. Okay, number one. And I don't see you having no alphabet without paper, ink, and a pen. Okay, so the first four things that you got to have an institution. Because let me explain to y'all my understanding of institution. Institution is mass awareness. It's not with one or two motherfuckers. It's the populace, the masses, the mass populace is being educated. Okay, not no two or three motherfuckers. The public school system, though, they ain't teaching shit. Okay, they ain't teaching them all but lies. Okay, it is an institution. Okay, they have that. They teach you the English alphabet. They teach you that. You got your paper, you got your ink, you got your pen, and most of the public is able to go to the school. Okay, that's an institution. And it's been moving for the last however many hundreds of years. So it's established. It's not going nowhere. You went to school, your babies is expected to come right behind you. Your grandbaby's gonna come right behind you. You see what I'm saying? That's institutionalized. Okay, so it brings mass awareness. Okay, mass communication. You see what I'm saying? So what's being taught is being discussed all across the country. You see what I'm saying? It's not just no two or three motherfuckers. Like when you go into the Bible and this, that, and the third, you find one book. And then I told y'all niggas long time ago that the goddamn Dead Sea Scrolls was fake. So that throws that shit out the window. You see, you can't have no in institution. You always have mass volume. Institution deals with masses. See, so it ain't gonna never be no one fucking book. And I'm gonna show y'all some shit so you'll know that. Okay, institution is the very book. What motherfucker? Did anybody else have one? It's just one. Because we talking about, when you got the paper and your babies, and you got all these babies at the table from K to 12, and if you can catch them all writing on Monday morning, you got paper piled the fuck up. If you took all the paper from a week, don't throw nothing away from the public school and just pile that shit up. You see what I'm saying? You got so much writing. See, that's the thing about institution. You just got mass volumes of writing. You ain't gonna never have no one. Only way you go is the masses are illiterate. Okay? So in an institutionalized nation, we expecting that the majority of the people could read and write. And they can't read and write unless you got an alphabet, you got paper, you got ink, and you got a pen. Now, we already stated that the Egyptians invented paper because they invented papyrus. So I don't want no motherfucker lying saying that they had books before ancient Egypt. That's a goddamn lie, because the only question I'm going to ask you, what the fuck, what did you write it on? Because you didn't write it on paper. You didn't write it on paper. So that shit don't count. So we talking about where the world is at today. It was the technology of ancient Egypt that brought us to where we at today. Not the fucking technology of Sumeria. We're not writing no little clay cookies. Okay, we're not doing that. Okay, it wasn't the technology of fucking India, because obviously when we go to their oldest civilization, Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, the only thing they had was little cylinders. That's all they had. They didn't have what ancient Egypt had, a full-blown, complex civilization with not just, hundreds of thousands of glyph combinations, all type of spiritual ceremony, science, and art. They did not have that. Let's quit this goddamn lying and shit. Now, when you reach institution, you're going to have dictionaries, because if you got a lot of words, of course, you're going to have to define the words to the people. So you got alphabet, you got paper, pen, ink, and you got dictionaries to define these words. Because if you starting to create all these words, you got to define them to the people. And then when the people understand the words, then they can use the words in combination. That's going to cause for grammar. You understand what I'm saying? You're going to have grammar, articles and rules of grammar. You understand what's going to cause that to come into existence? And then you got to have encyclopedias, such as textbooks, that bring a full understanding of the word. Now, you can go in the dictionary and say, for instance, you see geometry. It'll tell you geometry is the study of shapes, this, that, and the third. But when you get the encyclopedia of geometry, which is the textbook, it's going to go into the full complex understanding of geometry. So now we got alphabet, paper, ink, pen, dictionaries, articles and rules of grammar, encyclopedia. Now you got to have universities and libraries, which is the temples, okay? Because now the people got to have some organized place where they come to get that understanding. So in ancient Egypt, when you see all the temples, those are the university system. Now, you got what you got? You got your alphabet, you got your paper, you got your ink, you got your pen, you got your dictionary, you got your rules and articles of grammar, you got your encyclopedias, your textbooks, you got your libraries, you got your universities. What do you got to have to really make that work? You got to have what? Multitudes of teachers. Okay, and I'm gonna go in and show you in America the same fucking setup that I'm giving you. And when you see it in working, this is what I mean. When you in an institutionalized nation, you're gonna see writing everywhere, like in ancient Egypt. You're not gonna be looking up under no damn stone for no facts. Nigga, it's evident, it's every fucking where. See what I'm saying? When you go in any Egyptian temple or tomb, it's writing everywhere, okay? Even in the afterlife, we reading and writing, because some of this writing on the wall was for the deceased to come back. And matter of fact, as he going on his travels through the different gates, like the Book of Gates, you had to show up at each gate. It's 12 gates that was ruled by a goddess, and every gate you had to know the ritual and ceremony to speak to the goddess so that you could get permission to go on. If you didn't know it, goddammit, you didn't pass. So they wrote it out for the deceased so that he could always recite it when he get to the gate. So damn, they reading in the afterlife. Most of you niggas ain't reading in this motherfucking life, less known the goddamn afterlife. So you got to, number one, you got to have multitudes of teachers. Proficient, and multitude mean mass numbers. So you got to have mass numbers of teachers. Proficient in multitudes of subjects, sciences, and arts. Did you hear that? You got to have multitudes of teachers proficient in multitudes of subjects, sciences, and arts. That's the university. You got professors in every art and science. You see what I'm saying? You got to have that. And you got so many, and then after that, you got to have multitudes of eager students ready to receive the information. Now, with that, you see what I'm saying? This is institution. And I'm going to show you what the outcome of all of that, the outcome is mass volumes. Mass volumes, such as what you see in the libraries, because you know damn well, ain't no one or two motherfuckers wrote all them books down in the most largest libraries in the United States. We're about to go into this right now. So I can prove hands down what an institutionalized nation is. And Greece, let me run it down. The Greeks were not institutionalized. The masses of their ass were ignorant. They never had, if you look, just like I showed you, the Egyptian papyrus, I dare any motherfucker to show me an ancient Greek papyrus, manuscript, okay? One, I didn't ask for two. One, please, I've been looking for forever. They don't have it, okay? A Roman manuscript. I ain't asked for two. I ain't asked for two. I asked for one. Show up with it. Let's go. Let's roll. Because this is what an institutionalized nation is. You see what I'm saying? The Hebrew. Okay, you ain't gonna show up with no one motherfucking book, nigga. You understand what I'm saying? And then the Dead Sea Scrolls was the oldest, and now that you ain't even got that. Now you ain't even got that. You understand? One book, motherfuckers. You understand what I'm saying? One book is the exact opposite of institution. You understand what I'm saying? Because any motherfucker can create one book. That does not prove that the masses of the people were literate. Okay, so I'm showing you that not Sumeria, not Rome, not motherfucking Greece, not even in the Americas, not the Mayan, not even the Olmec, not none of them, where you can show just, you know how many manuscripts they done found in ancient Egypt? They done found over 1 million scrolls. Do you hear me? That's not a misquote. They done found over 1 million scrolls about Egypt. Every temple, every fucking statue, to the biggest to the smallest, got writing on it. That show you that the whole populace was literate. You ain't got that, and even when we get ready to go into Rome, they ain't got no temples with writing on it. All them motherfuckers got some columns, the roof that fell in. That shit shouldn't even be called a temple. It ain't nothing but columns. You see what I'm saying? But all the Egyptian temples is, even if it fell down, if you go up under it, it's full of writing, full of tombs with all type of treasure in it, with writing in reference to spirituality. You see what I'm saying? Which would have took writing to develop to that level. Okay, so let me go on in here so we can work this out. And when I set this shit up, you gonna know forever. You know, don't let no motherfucker play you again. Sick of that shit. I'm so sick of it. Let me start right here. I hope y'all in the motherfucking house today. I just showed y'all some damn scrolls that go back to 2700 BC. And these motherfuckers still fumbling. They owe this shit in the AD period. I ain't even got to the temples yet. It's gonna blow your mind. Say what? Y'all the most ancient? I mean, how disrespectful can y'all motherfuckers be? I should find the first motherfucking Indian and slap the taste out your mouth. You understand what I'm saying? To the motherfucker that told some shit on this shit. So y'all can see this. Back on their head, y'all. Back on their head. Now, I already went over primary sources. A secondary source is a document or other type of media that discusses or cites an original or primary resource. Primary resources may include the original, uninterpreted raw data or statistic from original research project and historic letter, an interview, a court decision, an original map, a poem, or some other first-hand information. Then if they can show up the book or the Bible or Plato or Socrates or any of that shit, you do not have a primary motherfucking resource. I'm sick of that. None of that shit is primary. All of it is embellishment of a damn lie. Okay? Got that across to people. You understand? Mass communication. That means everybody opportunity to know this information. I'm tired of y'all motherfuckers say one goddamn book. Ain't no one motherfucking book gonna teach no millions of people. You got to have mass production of literature to have mass communication. You have to have mass production. How in the hell you gonna teach 200 students with one motherfucking book? I don't understand that. You understand what I'm saying? If you had, say for instance, you got a high school in a major city, which could have 2,000 students in that high school, and you got one book, you got one math book in a high school with 2,000 motherfuckers. You know what? Them motherfuckers gonna be skipping like a motherfucker. They ain't gonna be nowhere. How in the hell you gonna teach that many people with one book? So you have, see, when you're dealing with institutions, you're dealing with masses, mass production, mass communication, mass awareness. You cannot have mass awareness without mass production of literature. Okay? So that's the exact opposite of the motherfucking one book mythology that the Arab got, that the motherfucker, that cause they was some damn backwards ass people. They did not have no writing. Most of the motherfucking Arabs, all they did was sing songs. All they did was sing songs, and through songs they they memorized their history, but they did not have no motherfucking writing. I'm sick of that. What the fuck is an Arab in the middle of the fucking desert gonna be writing a goddamn book? I'm sick of that shit. Okay, awareness, knowledge, or perception of a situation or fact. Okay, so we talking about, people don't even understand that Christianity is until Gutenberg created the damn printing press. Then nobody had no opportunity to know none of them stories in that goddamn, it hadn't even been created yet. They was embellishing stories and shit to themselves, but they did not have no Bibles because the masses of the European were uneducated even up into the late 1800s. Even when goddamn Gutenberg created the motherfucking printing press, you still couldn't get it off the ground because the masses of the European illiterate. They didn't know what paper was. They didn't know what pen was. They didn't know what the fuck, the few words that was in their consciousness. You understand what I'm saying? So I know that was like you teaching a child. You had to go in there first and teach the European alphabet. They didn't even know what an alphabet was. You understand what I'm saying? So they had to go in there and educate the European masses before they could even get the printing press off the goddamn ground. Okay, so so when we talking about mass awareness, then you talking about mass knowledge or proficiency, a high degree of competence or skill. So when we talking about proficient in sciences and arts, we're not talking about on a level where you just A, B, C. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the Egyptians teachers were proficient with over tens of thousands of years of development. Embellish, when I say they embellish, it says make something more attractive by the addition of decorative details or features. Decorate, adorn, okay, make a statement or story more interesting or entertaining by adding extra detail, especially ones that are not true. So you got a goddamn mud mound on the ground, and this motherfucker tell you it was to the sky. He built it to the goddamn sky. Okay? If you never seen one in that part of the world built to the sky, how the fuck you gonna know it? You got to have a primary source so you can at least say, okay, I see what you mean. You don't see not one goddamn skyscraper in Iraq or fucking Iran, not one. Everything over there is a depleted mud mound. So all the shit you see on the fucking internet is embellishment. Fool, wake your silly ass up. You got to wake up today. You understand what I'm saying? That's embellishment. You don't have the primary reference to show that. At least when you're looking at the pyramid, you can say, okay, you know, when we say that the pyramids was dressed with white, it was because the Arab is the one that took it off. God damn it, you can still look at Khafra and you can still see some of the white limestone at the top. So when you see the pyramids at Giza and they all white, you can say, okay, I can see how that is possible. Okay, I can see how that is possible. That's how it looked. Okay, so that's evidence. You understand? But to you know go and create a whole damn skyscraper in Iraq or some big giant ass ziggurat, then you can't prove one. You don't have one. So that's embellishment. Now we looking at the largest libraries in the United States. So what am I saying? That Egypt is the first modern nation. It's the most advanced nation in the ever existed, and it's the blueprint for all institutionalized countries of today. They pattern after ancient Egypt. And I'm going to show and prove to you exactly what I mean. So when you're talking about a list of the largest libraries in the United States, now the Library of Congress is the largest, okay? It's holding right now 39 million books and other printed material. See? Millions of now imagine that. You got 39 million books. Then that mean, goddamn it, if just say, you know, out of them 39 million, just say, you know, just cut that in half and say, you know, everybody, one student wrote 2 books. That still would put you, you know, if you did that, that still would put you damn that at 15 million goddamn students. You understand what I'm saying? You know damn well ain't no one motherfucker wrote no 39 million books. Okay, so that's a lot of people. That's a lot of literate people that was a part of that one library. And then you go to New York Library. You got a collection of over 25 million volumes. That don't mean they all books. It could be a CD. It could be what they call that? What's that shit they have on file? Damn, I forget the name of that damn. But anyway, it's back over here. It could be recordings, photographs, maps, sheet music, okay, and manuscripts. All of that is considered a volume. So you're looking at New York, and it got over 25 million volumes, okay? See, we talking about mass institution. Okay, you're talking about the Public Library of Cincinnati. Okay, 11 million volumes. You're talking about the Boston Public Library, over 8 million volumes. Okay, see, now that's what I'm talking about. When you in an institutionalized nation, you're not looking for no one motherfucking book. It was so when the motherfuckers say it was, you know, was Greece institutionalized? Hell no. You ain't got one fucking book that you can prove was written from the time of these damn so-called philosophers. Not one. And it wouldn't be about no one motherfucker because the whole nation would have had to been, you know, literate. And, you know, and so his book, whether it was Plato's book, it would have been mass produced in the time in which he lived, which it was not. And plus you can't find the original one, no goddamn way. So that show you how they embellished all that shit of Plato and Socrates and this, that, and they embellished and made all that shit up because they have no evidence of mass volume. Okay. About the large, over 6 million volume. Chicago, 5 million. Okay. County of Los Angeles, 5 million. Queensboro, 5 million. Okay. San Diego, 5 million. All the way down Dallas, Dayton, You understand? We talking about Detroit down there with 4 million volumes. Okay, I've been in that goddamn library downtown Detroit. That motherfucker huge. Goddamn books every goddamn where. So you know goddamn where. And so if you got all these major institutions, and so these are the temples that's all over Egypt. Wait a minute, let me get into this shit. I'm in the house today. Let me go up here with my shit at. Let me go up here. Tell any one of them fuckers out there in the goddamn universities that want to see me, come on and see. Come on and see. Where them temples at? I want that one map. That all my damn temple. I got so much shit, it's ridiculous. But here it go, right here. So when you're looking at all the temples over, and see, these the biggest ones. You see what I'm saying? These are the libraries and the university systems of ancient Egypt. And as you can see, most of the universities was in the south. Even though the pyramids are down, them is tombs. So when you talking about, you talking about Luxor and Karnak, you see what I'm saying? You talking about Kamumbo, the Temple of Edfu, Isis. You see what I'm saying? Ramesses, Nefertiti, all of that down there. You understand? Those were universities. Even though they had, their burials and this, that, and the third, it would have been universities of priests in that county. If you look at the nomes, there would have been an educational system in each nome that would have been training the students to be proficient in whatever science, whatever art that they were being taught in. That's where you would go and get that information. Okay, so when you come back over here and you see, all of these libraries, those are only the temples in ancient Egypt. Okay, so we talking about Greece, Rome, India, Mayan, Sumerian civilizations are creations of modern embellishment or racist revisions, trying to create a history parallel to ancient Africa, when in reality are hundreds of thousands of years behind the contributions of Africans to the advancement of the planet Earth. So now we're looking at the public school system. This is an institutionalized nation. You're not going to have no one fucking book. You're not going to have no one motherfucker with all the knowledge or none of that. Okay, you can see right there. At the top, you see public schools is in black. You see right there over at the end, the last row, 2014, 2015, you see is over almost 100,000 public schools in the United States. Okay, then you got, if you go down to the bottom, you understand, post-secondary Title 4 institutions, you see that there's over 7,000 some odd secondary, post-secondary institutions in the United States. So now we talking about what institution is, and showing that Egypt was the first institutionalized nation on the planet. Neither Greece, nor Rome, nor or motherfucking, even though I'm not gonna speak on the old man, because they came as a colony from Africa. You understand what I'm saying? So they brought but whoever they brought with them were institutionalized. Okay, they were institutionalized. Okay, now today there are some 5,300 colleges and universities in the United States. Okay, 5,300 colleges. Okay, and according to the U.S. Census report, there are about 16 million students. See, that's what I'm talking about. Enrolled in colleges in the United States. See, when you got that many enrolled, then you look at all them damn volumes of books, because you got volumes of students. You ain't got no Plato, bitch. Goddamn, it's a goddamn whole civilization. Wasn't nobody more educated outside of Plato, Socrates, and Aristotle? That ain't no institution. That's not institution. So we talking about, when you look at Egypt and you see temples full of writing. I mean, you can have millions of glyphs on one temple. It took some of them people, took our people damn near, many, many years to complete. So you know damn well it wasn't no one scribe up on the wall. You had to have hundreds of thousands of scribes to have put all that writing up on them walls. Hundreds of thousands to millions of scribes to put all that writing on the walls, in the tombs. You understand? Up, in the Valley of the Kings and inside the pyramids. It would have took hundreds of thousands to millions of scribes to have done that. We just talking about the stone. We ain't even talking about the million of papyruses that they done found all over ancient Egypt, that you can find in storehouses all over goddamn Europe. So I'm proving that Egypt was the first institutionalized nation where the majority of the people of ancient Egypt was literate. I'm sick of y'all, man. I'm so sick of the white man. I don't know what to do. And I'm so sick of our people letting this motherfucker put this bullshit on them. So when you talking about 16 million enrolled in colleges, and together with pre-K through 12th grade, there are a total of 74.6 million students in the United States. So that's how you get all these goddamn, you see these volumes here. See? That show you this ain't no goddamn one Plato and no one Socrates and no one, goddamn it, every damn pyramid had another architect. It wasn't no one architect. You understand what I'm saying? So out of them 430 pyramids, you had hundreds of different master architects that were in charge of each pyramid, some better than others. But it showed you that they had a mass amount of learned architects to help them put them pyramids right there. So we how many teachers. Now the teachers, because what did I say? Not only did you have multitudes, you have to have multitudes of teachers. So talking about class, 240, almost 500,000 private schools. You see, and I'm trying to understand that the master teacher will and cannot be defeated. There's no way to get around that. That's how they lie. They said, oh, goddamn Plato in all 15, 20 different damn sciences. I say, how's one motherfucker gonna invent, and go read The Stolen Legacy. How the fuck is one motherfucker gonna invent 20 sciences and write damn near 200 books on 20 different damn sciences? That just show you right there what type of lying ass man you dealing with. You see what I'm saying? To try to put a damn near impossible motherfucking achievement under one man. And you can't find not one original book, nor was it ever mass produced in the time in which he lived. I'm not talking about the embellishment long after, because we went, wait a minute, let's go over this shit again. So you understand that a primary resource versus a secondary resource. A secondary resource is a document or other type of media that discusses or cites an original or primary resource. Primary resources include the original, okay, the original. We're not talking about the Bible. We're talking about the original, motherfucker. Uninterpreted, raw data. You see what I'm saying? We want the motherfucker from God. We want the motherfucker that they say Muhammad motherfucker. We want the one Muhammad wrote. We don't want the one that come damn near 1,000 years after he died. We don't want that one. We want the raw motherfucking information. Okay, we want the raw Plato. We want the raw Moses, the 5 fucking books of Moses. We want the raw Matthew. I don't know how the fuck a goddamn Hebrew name Matthew, but goddamn it, you know, we want the raw primary fucking information. And that's how y'all, this is how you filter through the fucking information. You ask these motherfuckers, do you got a primary, you know, you ask them first, do you got a primary source, reference? And then number two, you ask them, was it mass produced? You see what I'm saying? Don't see, we got to get out of that one book mythology, the magic book. That y'all motherfucker want the magic lamp. Y'all want the one magic book, magic lamp shit. No, you ask them, number one, do you have a primary source, and was it mass produced in the time in which that primary source was created? See, when you ask them, was it mass produced, that's going to verify that more than one motherfucker knew about it. See what I'm saying? And that's good. And if you got more than one, then it's going to be evident that it was mass awareness of that information. But if you cannot produce more than one motherfucking book, you cannot prove mass awareness of that information. Just like the Bible, that shit wasn't mass produced until the fucking printing press, Gutenberg, in the fucking 1400s. They didn't get it off the ground until damn near the 1800s because they had, we know that the masses of people on this planet Earth that we live on had no understanding of the Bible that we read today in our homes. They didn't have the access that we have today. They didn't have the access to have 10 damn Bibles in the fucking house. They didn't have no printing press. I'm so sick of y'all. If I go over this shit one more motherfucking time, I'm gonna have to slap the shit out of a nigga. Straight up. Y'all better go over this motherfucker time and time again. You ask them, number one, do you have a primary source, and was it mass produced at the time in which it was created? Okay? You ask them both for that. And I guarantee you that one motherfucking question alone will body slam the majority of this garbage out here right fucking now. That one fucking question. I got the dagger for motherfuckers. Straight up, I'll throw it up in your motherfucking chest and leave it up in there, nigga. And a dagger is so deadly that you rather leave it in than even fucking try to fumble with it. Because when you try to pull that motherfucker out, all it's gonna do is gush on your ass. And your ass gonna drop any goddamn way. Let's move on. So we looking at the, these are the universities. You understand what I'm saying? These is private institutions. You understand what I'm saying? So not only do you got public institutions, see, now you got private institutions. These is for the high priests. You understand what I'm saying? Harvard Library, hiding all that knowledge. You understand what I'm saying? Now that's the shit they don't want you to see. You understand what I'm saying? You got University of Illinois, got 14 million goddamn bucks. Harvard got 20 million. University of Toronto, these is private institutions, got 14 goddamn million. University of Michigan, I knew them bitches was full of goddamn, scrolls and shit, stealing scrolls. Yale University, 13 goddamn million. So now we looking, when I say, okay, we getting it popping, so I'm proving. Not only do you see the, you see the paper, you see the ink, you see the stylus, you see the alphabet, and they knew the word. They had to have a dictionary to define the word. You're not going to write no fucking word. That's the first thing that the teachers start teaching you. They teach you your alphabet, then they teach you small words and what they mean. And then they start to teach you how to incorporate them in a sentence. That's the rules of grammar, this, that, and the third. And then as you develop your understanding of the alphabet, of small words, how to put them in a sentence, you see what I'm saying? Then as you go up in the different grades, you start to get the encyclopedic information, where you start now, you're able to go deeper into the understanding because you understand the words. You understand how to speak. You understand what I'm saying? Now you could go into the deeper understanding of the higher information, you see, which is in the encyclopedia. Okay, so you see all of this, and even you see the black And then you see the red. The red is the answer. You see what I'm saying? Just like when you go in the Bible and you go into the Quran, when God talk, it's in red. You see what I'm saying? Here is the answer. You know, if it's a spiritual text, you understand what I'm saying? You know, the black is what coming out of your mouth. This is your understanding. And the red is the answer, what you're going to need to have when you show up to that gate, nigga. When you show up to that gate, you better have that answer, nigga. Straight up. So we moving on to show you right there. You see that to the left, you see the cursive form of the symbols. And then to the right, you see the hieratic. So not only did they have, you know, language, they have 4 or 5 different versions of writing. Okay? Most people, you know, you got your regular letters, but that's where you get your cursive from. That's where you get your cursive from. So they had the hieroglyphs, they had the cursive form of the hieroglyphs, then they had hieratic, then they had demotic. And demotic was, like I said, a trading script. It was still in cursive. Okay? And so let me move on. Let's get down to these temples. Let's get on down to these temples. Now let me get this one right here. Now you get this right off of the internet. Okay? 10 oldest temples in India. Okay? 10 oldest temples in India. Now, I'm not going, you can spell this out. I'm not going to embarrass myself and try to, you know, in the long run, I'm going to master all understanding. Okay? But, you know, I do my best today, you know what I'm saying, and try to pronounce it out. Brihad Brihadi Swara, okay? Brihadi Swara Temple, okay? This is in Tamil Nadu. It is one of the oldest temples in India, built by King Kola in 1002 AD. Okay? I got this from an Indian. Okay? And you already see the pyramid. And I can show you that the whole structure is built on the Egyptian temple blueprint. That's facts. Okay? I done that before. Matter of fact, let me show y'all. And that's the oldest temple. And this right here gonna crack their ass immediate. Let me see if I got it down here. Let me see if I got it down here. If it's in this one, I'll bring it up. Because I like showing them. Here it is. Here it is right here. Here it is right here. So I'm going to just show you that this is the international blueprint on how to construct a temple. If you go to Mali, if you go to the University of Sankore, you see the pyramid in the front? It got an oblong temple behind it. If you cannot come over here and see that this is the same goddamn temple, I don't know what the hell to tell you. You see the pyramid is in the front. Matter of fact, let me drag it over so I can show you even better. Wait a minute, let me bring it back. Let me bring it back. Let me show you. I work right on the spot. I don't play no game. And this your oldest goddamn temple. One of the oldest. I don't think you got none too much older. Okay. Brought it up. Okay? Now when you come over, let me bring it up. As a matter of fact, let me flip it. Let me flip it so you can see. See the pyramid up front, and you see the temple, the rectangle, the elongated rectangle blueprint even for all Solomon Temple, and you come back and you see the pyramid up front, and you see the oblong rectangle blueprint for all temples around the world. That's the same temple, okay? That's the Egyptian temple. So automatically right here, this your oldest. This number one. I got this this is random fact. It was an Indian that put it together. Go to number two, Kalashanath Temple. Okay, Kalashanath Temple. Okay, is located in Elora. Okay, and so this is and this is in the eighth century. And I'm gonna tell y'all, I could go get another one, the temples of Lalibela. You see what I'm saying? And show you if you look at Lalibela. Let me see if I got Lalibela up. Let me, we working right on the spot to show you where they got this shit from. We right here, baby. We right here. We right here. Let's go to Lalibela. Let's go to Lalibela and show you. See, they carved that one right out of the mountain, which you right there where you can see, they carved that one right up out the mountain. You see what I'm saying? So if we come over here, and I ain't gonna move too many of them. You see? So you come back over here to this one, to go look it up. They carved it right out of the mountain. It's the same technology they use to carve Lalibela. Okay, where they carved the mountain right on down to create that temple. This is in the 8th century. Okay, this is in the 8th century. Okay, and so this is actually later than Lalibela, because Lalibela was built in 1170 AD. So Lalibela is older than that temple right there. So these is their oldest, okay? Shinakisava temple, okay? 1117 AD, okay? They ain't even in the BC period. We ain't even in the BC period, family. I'm just gonna be 100 with you. Not even in the BC period. But you could go up on the internet and they always trying to compare and say that India is the oldest civilization in the world. And you know goddamn well, and I'm just showing you this. Okay, these the top 10. Now, when I get over to the top 10 of the Egyptian, I don't even need 10. The first two gonna wipe out everything that they got. Tungnath Temple. Okay, this is supposed to be 1,000 years old. Okay, so this probably, if it's 2,000, it take you around 1,000 AD. Okay, look at what you're looking at. Okay, Pancha Ratna Temple. Okay, 1643. 5. Okay. This is Adi Kumbizra, Rara, whatever it is. I'm gonna get better at it. 9th century. Okay, 9th century. Now they got Jagat Peter Brahma. Okay, Mandir. Okay, this is 2,000 years old. Brahma of the invaders. So how the fuck is he the oldest? They don't even got no temples of Brahma. That just show you he was an invader deity. You understand what I mean? But they got his ass as the oldest. Okay, this 2,000, this to take you to 0 AD. If I believe they lying on that. And so you got this one. Varaharaja. Okay, Varaharaja. Okay, Perumal Temple. Okay, that's 1053 AD. You can go look them all up. These are the greatest temples. You got the Karnak. Now, how many you got Karnak and Karnak? You got so many words that are very similar to the words in Africa. Okay, you got the Mauryan dynasty. In Mauryan dynasty, you got Mauritania and all of this shit. You got what's the other? You got what's that other? You got Songhai, you got Shanghai or Shanghai. Songhai and Shanghai. You don't hear all that, the similarities in that. So the temple was built in 2050 AD, not BC, AD. Dilwara temples, okay? These were built in 11th and 13th century, okay? So this is the top 10. This is the top 10. And we already did the wonders, and I could go to the top. I don't want to use the pyramid because this one temple right here. This one temple right here. This one was started construction in the beginning of the New Kingdom, right around 1600 BC. Okay, so that right there gonna clear up shit real quick. You see what I'm saying? So how the hell do the Indian profess to be more ancient than the African? How do they profess to be more ancient than the African when all of their temples and the majority of their temples is in the AD period? And then their writings is in the AD period. See, that's the embellishment of when a motherfucker blow his own horn, he always gonna say, I'm the greatest. This, that, and the third. But when it get down to the facts, this is a temple inside of the Karnak temple. This temple got temples inside of it. Okay? So this is Khonsu, who is the son of Amun and the goddess Mu. You see what I'm saying? And so you go inside of this, and so this is a massive temple in its own right inside of the day. You can literally take all the temples of India and put them inside this one damn temple and be done with it. Okay, when I get to the Greeks and the Romans, we're gonna make the comparison. And I'm gonna tell you, is no, they might, in actuality, if you're looking at the dates, the Greek and Roman temples are actually older than the Indian. You understand what I'm saying? And that's real talk. So how the hell now, and I don't even see how they profess that be older, even, they might be older than the Greeks and Romans in writing, but the temples that they left are actually older than the Hindu temple. They're actually older than the Hindu temple. And those are facts. And that's only in respects to ancient Egypt because they were close to ancient Egypt. So they got a little bit of knowledge. They didn't get a whole lot, but they got a little bit, enough to put them little ass temples up there. You understand what I'm saying? But they actually older than the Hindu temples. Okay, so we just looking at this one temple. Let me go down here. And we looking at this complex. You see, you got the Karnak temple and priest of Amun, then you got the precinct of Mut, and then you come all the way down to the Luxor temple. Okay, where's the Luxor? And that's right here, the Luxor temple. Okay, so I don't even have to go. I just deal with these, and then I'm gonna look at Abu Simbel. I'm gonna just show you 3 temples. I ain't got to go 10, because that would, that's just overkill. Okay, you got the grant, and so Amenhotep was again in the New Kingdom, lived around 600 BC. Okay, and it's still standing. You see what I'm saying? We don't need nobody to embellish it. Okay, we can imagine how it looked based on what's left. We don't need to embellish it. Okay, so when we talking about the Sumer, they do not have a structure that's still standing to this day. Okay, that can even with one temple, let alone 10, all of Egypt's temples are still standing. And they older and showing you the greater science. How the fuck is the Sumerian, the Greeks and Roman, and they never built to the level of the ancient Egyptian? They don't have an institutionalized nation where you have masses of the populace that's educated, writing, reading and writing, producing literature. Okay? So, when India, when you got all these videos out here talking about India is the man, get the fuck. It's Mike Tyson versus goddamn Marvin Frazier. Marvin Frazier, nigga. What was it, like 30-second, 50-second knockout? You see what I'm saying? And see, you got to quit people anything to you got to have rules of research. And so I didn't, always have this is a primary source right here, the Luxor Temple. It's a primary source. Now, if somebody write a book about that's a secondary reference. You don't need no secondary reference because you could go to the primary source yourself and you can make your own understanding. You don't have to know. This motherfucker living in the same time as you. He have no more ability to go back 3,000 years and have an understanding no better than you. You have a better one because it's your ancestors. Fuck wrong with y'all, man? Wake up. You letting these crackers trick you out of history. These motherfucking crackers was on all fours at the time that this damn pyramid, this temple was standing. There was no Greek. Do you understand? At 1600 BC, listen to me, family. When this temple was standing, do you understand that there is no Greeks? 1600 BC, there is no Rome. There is no India. There is no India at 1600 BC. There is no Mayan. There is no Aztec. There is no Inca. There ain't even no Olmec. And in my family, none of them civilizations are in existence at 1600 BC. Everything that you're reading about all them other civilizations is embellishment. They writing this shit, creating it as they go along, but they do not have primary sources of that information, okay? And so you see here the great hyperstyle hall. You understand what I'm saying? So when it get time for the Greeks and the Romans, and the fact that they come almost 3,000 years after the Egyptians, and they temples are tore down, the columns were much smaller. How the fuck do you compare the Greeks and Romans to the ancient? You're the greatest people that ever walked the planet. You're the greatest people that ever walked the planet. And you got to quit letting these people bluff you out of your history, out of your, this is your divine right, this is your divine birthright, and what you looking at. That's your ancestor up there. Your DNA has recorded all of that information. You see what I'm saying? So these tools of research that I've given you today, you should always, and we're going to keep going over this. And I guarantee you ain't no motherfucker going to be able to deal with the facts. You can take this shit to the highest PhD. I don't give a fuck who it is. The biggest imam, the fucking grand rabbi of Israel. I don't give a fuck who it is. And you can debate them on the facts. And I guarantee you, if you hit them, just like I said, with that one dagger, you understand what I'm saying? Of any book in the Bible, any book in the Quran, any book they say the Hindus had in ancient time, ask them one fucking question. Ask them. Let me come up out. Fuck this. Let me get about it. Get my face up here. There's one question. I know a lot of Hindus gonna be mad today. You understand what I'm saying? The motherfucker gonna run in there, do their yoga, and do bitch, ain't no ohms gonna save you today. You can ain't gonna save you today, baby. We putting the facts up on the Africans of the Nile Valley and the whole of Africa. Because we show, and I'm not done. I'm not done. What time is it? Okay, I'll start at. Okay, just give me a few more minutes. Don't run from me. Because we got to hit. Don't run from me. God damn it, don't go put on no R. Kelly bullshit unless you go get that documentary I just did the other day. Don't run to none of that shit. I'm arming you with knowledge so you can use out here against anybody. You understand? You ask them one question. Do you have the primary source, the original? A minute. I'm gonna go over this again. Is it powerful? Powerful. And that's something, and this is something right here. And that's from a Hindu. I'm gonna show that before I get up out of here. I'm gonna show that before I get up out of here. I'm not done at all. I need to read this one more time. Okay. Primary source. Okay. A secondary source. Go over it again. If you go and get a book on ancient Egypt, that's a secondary resource. Okay. That's a papyruses that I showed you. Those are primary sources. Whether you know it or not, that's the information that came from Egypt. That's primary. Okay, so a secondary resource is a document or other type of media that discusses or cites an original or primary resource. And then some of them don't even do that. They don't even, because they don't even know how to read the original. So they can't cite it. You see what I'm saying? And that right there just shows you. So they have to create a mythology that they decipher the motherfucking language. Okay? Or primary resources may include the original, uninterpreted raw data. That's what's key. Uninterpreted raw data or statistics, real research projects, an historical letter, an interview, a court decision, an original map, a poem, or some other first-hand information. So whether it's a Hebrew, whether that motherfucker a Muslim, a Christian, if that motherfucker into the Hindu Vedas and all of that, you ask him, number one, do you have a primary source for any of that information? Whoever on that motherfucker has the author, Matthew, John, Luke, motherfucking Joshua, fucking Moses, any of them. You ask them, do you have the original? And was it mass produced at the time it was ready? And if you don't have no you don't have no primary source, you don't have the original, and it wasn't mass produced at the time in which it was supposedly created, you know good and goddamn well there was no mass understanding in the ancient world of that garbage. That's some bullshit. They wrote that shit when they created that printing press. They created all of that shit when they got a hold to that printing press. History books, they didn't have no math book. They didn't have no dictionary. They didn't have no fucking, that's crazy. That the European Caucasian world did not have institution on a mass level into the 1800s. That's crazy. And you could go back in Africa, damn near 10,000 BC, and we were already institutionalized. Man, listen, I'm just going to be real. We are hundreds of thousands of years before these people, not just 100. We are hundreds of thousands of years. Before these people even got started, the facts. So all that trying to start Sumeria and Egypt around, and I'm showing you how more advanced Egypt is than Greece and Rome and all of that. It's shit is there for you to see. You don't need nobody to make shit up for you. Okay, because them people was up in the goddamn cave at the time when our African ancestors was building them temples and them pyramids. Okay, and so let me go over here. Let me put the icing on the cake before I get up out of here. And anybody don't like it, tell them come see me. Don't take long to do it, neither. Come see me, goddammit. And don't take long. Okay, yeah, right here. Right. This just a little something. Oh, let me share. Let me share. Give me 15 minutes, y'all. Give me 15 minutes and I'm gonna put you to bed. Put the children to bed. Give me 15. I'm gonna put you to bed. Let me get that. I hate that down there. Let me get that out the way. Okay. So, look at this. These are the first. This shit's so funny. I'm laughing. You know what I'm saying? This is the first king, his burial. Okay? Now, I want y'all to be clear that that Narmer, you see the other the other rooms behind the first. These is all connected to the same burial. You see what I'm saying? So, they would have had a master bar on top of it. You see what I'm saying? They would have had a master bar on top of it. So, it more likely was built with mud brick at that time. But when you go down into the actual tomb, you see it's stone. Okay? It's stone. So they were already proficient with stone even at that time, even before Imhotep. Imhotep was the first one that took it above ground on a major level. So you see at the bottom is a master box. That would have been the first level. You understand? Just one level. And then Imhotep in the third dynasty took it to the skyscraper stage, where he started stacking them on top of each other. But only to say that no other people go to Greece and find the first legendary king of Greece. Go to Rome and find the first tomb of the Caesars. I want you to go to the Mayan, find the first burial of a Mayan king, Aztec, Inca. I want you to go to India and find the first tomb of any of their earliest kings, and they come after Egypt. Okay, they come after Egypt. And here it is, the first king of Egypt, 3100 BC, and you have the burial right here. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. You see what I'm saying? The first king. We ain't even, you know what I'm saying? And so let me show y'all something. Hold up. And what they not telling y'all is that, they've all, if you go to Institute, the Oriental Institute of Chicago, they had did research into Nubia before they put up the Aswan Dam. They already had discovered that many of the tombs that you seen down there, well, they had them same type of tombs up in Nubia. Okay? If you go down to 3500 to 2800, this BC, A group in Lower Nubia, okay, you will see Kustul, okay, A group, Kustul. That's where they find the incense burner with the king on it, with the crown of Upper Egypt sitting on the throne, okay? And so you talking about, almost 300-400 years before Narmer even ruled in Egypt. And then you go up, and at 3800 BC, possible founding in Nubia of earliest known monarchy. So now we even going past Egypt. We going in, and let me be real. This is a white boy. Okay, Kenny Man. That's a white boy. Okay? That's a white boy. So you see down there, 3100, you see Menes or Narmer unites Upper Egypt and Lower Egypt. He reunites. He don't unite, he reunites. You see what I'm saying? He reunites. So this is Narmer. That's key. Let me bring that on up. Let me get my minutes, y'all. Don't leave me now. Don't leave me. This is Narmer. Okay? This is Narmer. So we have his burial. Okay, and now, like I say, he had an elaborate burial because he had about 5 or 6 of these rooms. There wasn't no one room. The first king had elaborate underground burials. Okay, so you come over here, that's down at the bottom, 3,100, and then you go up, you say 3,500, formation of kingdoms of Upper and Lower Egypt. Formation, okay? And then you go up to 35 to 2,800, A group in Lower Nubia. You find the same type of burials. You find the same type of burials as these. That's how they knew that Egypt came up out of the south. Because they wasn't just no one damn room. You see what I'm saying? The same, they had 4 and 5, so they knew they was royalty. Because ain't no motherfucker gonna have. They had all type of Jews and high sophisticated craftsmanship. Even at the 3,500, 35 to 2,800 BC, those burials in Custul and down there in Nubia were for royalty. You understand what I'm saying? And it wasn't because the jewelry was so exquisite. You see what I'm saying? So we got to be real. So even going past Egypt, so we was just dealing with Egypt. We ain't even went into Nubia yet and showed the evidence of that. I just use Egypt. And that's what's killing these motherfuckers. So how the fuck is you got enough nerve to say you older than ancient Egypt? Okay? And I'm gonna go down here and show you, these are, the best monuments of India. None of them are of the ancient. You understand? All of them are modern, except for the ones in the south. Now, when you get in the south, see, those are the older ones that look like the pyramids. You see what I'm saying? Those are the older ones. You see Ellora, the cut caves. You see they in the south, on the west side, closest to Africa. So you can see their connection to Africa, why their temples look like pyramids. Okay? You see the oldest one is all the way at the bottom. You see it at the bottom, all the way at the bottom, on the side closest to Africa. They need to give up trying to disrespect the motherland, okay? They need to give up trying to disrespect the motherland. So you see, not just Giza, these are all the pyramids the pyramid fields in Egypt. They always showing you the one. So just to show you the mass amount of pyramids, and we'll go over them later. And you come down and see all the great temples. This is Karnak, how it would have looked back when it was standing up. And then you see next to it is the precinct of Mut. And then you see the one road leading from Karnak all the way down to Luxor. You understand what I'm saying? Which would have been lined with sphinxes. You talking about 1.5 miles. You know how many sphinx it would have took to put on the east side of that road for them to lead all the way. This was the greatest university system the world has ever known. Okay? This is Karnak up close. And we're going to get off into this deeper. But I don't want to keep y'all up tonight. So you see, from all the way, this is in Nubia. You see what I'm saying? So these is temples, but they also where the priests kept libraries. You see what I'm saying? This is where the people could come and get education. Don't let them lie to you. So look at most of these temples are still standing. And they from the BC all the way down to Abu Simbel. Wadi El Sabua still standing. Okay? Dendur, all of them, they might not be pristine, but every Calabashi, I've been to that. Okay, I've been to Philae Island. That's the temple of Isis. I've been to Elephantine Island. That temple is no longer, it's a little piece of the temple still standing. You understand what I'm saying? But I've been to Calabashia. I've been all the way down to Abu Simbel. Okay, so these are all the temples still, and you could come up, there's the God right there at Edfu. You see what I'm saying? That's the one I'll show today. That's Edfu coming up, and these are the pyramids. And these are not all the pyramids. So no, all these monuments and temples are from the BC period. Okay, all of these monuments and temples you got right there. You got Thebes right there, Deir el Bahari. You understand? That's Hatshepsut's temple. You see if you look over there where it say Amonit, you see the two large statues right there. Where am I standing at? Let me show y'all. I'll bring them up. There I go right there. Where's them statues that I just showed? There they go. There they go, right there. So you see them two statues right there in front of Esna? You know what I'm saying? That's the God right there standing in front of them two statues right there. So all of this is far into the BC period. So I don't want nobody in their mind to conceive, hear me out, let me come on out, that any of them civilizations is older than your motherland, okay? Believe that. Ain't none of these civilizations out here older than your motherland. So at the end, this was really a first round knockout. It wasn't even a fight, okay? It wasn't even a fight. We put the facts up. I'm gonna come back. I'm doing my damnedest looking for the manuscripts of the Hindu. I like to, because I know you ain't got it. You understand? I'm digging. You can go up there and look for the Egyptian. Shit pop right up. See, that's what mass institution to do. It just pop right up. You know what I'm saying? But when you do not have institution, this is the problems that you have with not having institution. So you the mothers and fathers of all writing, of all language, of all universities and school systems on this planet. You saw all the sciences because you could not develop high science without institution. Okay? It's totally impossible for you to do that. Okay? If you think you can develop the type of science, even where we at today, without writing, you go to any university and try to do it without writing. All that volumes of information. Try to do it without writing, without test taking. You understand what I'm saying? Which you gonna need alphabet. I'm gonna go out with this. You need alphabet. Need that. Okay? And then with the alphabet, you form work. But you got to have paper. And you got to have ink. And you got to have a pen. That's got to be simultaneous. See, the paper, I don't want people to think that you could develop where we at without the paper. The paper, paper is like the greatest invention of all time. You understand what I'm saying? Because you ain't gonna be able to develop the alphabet. You're not gonna be able to create dictionary. You're not gonna be able to create encyclopedias. You're not gonna be able to even have text in your mind as you develop in the technologies. You cannot just remember it. You got to file the information so other generations can pick up where you left off. That's why you need the paper. So the paper, the ink, and the pen is necessary at the same time as the alphabet. And then the alphabet, you take alphabet, you create words. With the words, you create the dictionary. And then you create the grammatical rules. Then, you create the encyclopedia, which is the textbooks in the difference and variances of subject. Okay? Then you got to have an established place where the people can come and receive the information. Okay? If you got masses of people, students, you must have multitudes of teachers proficient in multitudes of subjects, sciences, and arts. That's it. That's what you call the modern university. That's the only way like a modern civilization of today can advance. The only way. There is no other way. Egypt is the first civilization in history institutionalized with all of what I just said. And every nation today, modern nation, is using Egypt, not Greece, not Rome, not India, not Sumeria, not Mayan, not Aztec, not Incan, because none of them nations was institutionalized, not one. Egypt is the first and only ancient nation that was institutionalized. The masses of people were literate in all of what I said, and you see it evidence in all the temples that's there, writing over all the temples, all of the coffin texts, the pyramid text, and that's the evidence. Just like today, the evidence of an institutionalized United States is all them libraries with all the millions of volumes, that and all the students that they done recorded, all the college professors and public school teachers that go into the millions. That's the evidence of how you got all them volumes and all of them. Now, if this nation fall down, hear me out. If you seen all them volumes, you know, you got one, New York had 25 million volumes. Then you got all they go into the billions. Now, if you add them all up, even the institutionalized ones, that go into billions of volume. So if this motherfucking nation fell down, do you think you would be looking for one book? Huh? Do you think you would be looking for one book, nigga? One book mythology, magical one book mythology is the exact opposite of institution. So if you see a motherfucker always trying to embellish one book, you know, number one, it wasn't an institutionalized nation. And that's all and if they only had one book, you know, it was no mass awareness of what was in that book. Nobody knew about it but the nigga holding the motherfucking book. That's it. Okay, because if it was no mass production of it, where everybody could have a motherfucking book, nobody knew of what was in, just like the Dead Sea Scroll. They say, oh, that motherfucker was 200 BC. So motherfucking what? It was in a cave. Then nobody had no access to that shit, even if it was real. You say it was created 200 BC, bitch, it was in the cave for all the time, so you wouldn't even have access to it. See, that's how you keep catching these bitches lying. So family, I'm about to get on up out of here. How I'm doing out there? How I'm doing out there? How we doing out there, baby? Give me some playback. Am I good? Did we get an understanding today? Did we get an understanding today? Talk to me. I want to thank everybody for supporting me out there today. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to line the Greeks and Romans up. I want your ass in the place. Thank you, family. Respect. Respect. I'll see y'all out there. I'll see y'all out there. Okay, family. Love and respect. Be black tomorrow. Be looking for the notification. Be looking for the notification. We're going in on the Greeks and Romans tomorrow. They got their we're gonna put the Greeks and Romans on the same team. Wasn't fair. That's right, the black woman is God. And a whole lot of other things. She's not only God, she's the empress of education. You understand what I'm saying? We got to add the other information on there too. She's the empress of education. You understand what I'm saying? When we drop that wisdom, we got to also teach that she the one that brought, and because we say institution and this, that, and the third, the black woman is the first teacher. So she is an institution. You understand what I'm saying? So it ain't just the temple, it's the black woman is the institution also. So she is the first institution because she taught us as men, you know what I'm saying? As we was children long before we was men. So the first institution is not the physical temple, but the temple of the black woman. We got to bring that too. And we'll get on that. We'll get on that because she taught us our letters and everything. You understand what I'm saying? She taught us how to talk. She taught us medicine because she had to know medicine, to give to her babies long before they grew up. You know what I'm saying? She taught that to us. So we gonna get on that information too. Black woman is God and a whole lot of other things too. You understand what I'm saying? And we gonna get on that. Okay, see y'all tomorrow. This is the General Cyrus Suten Seti saying, hey, arm yourself with knowledge, bang on that wicked ass beast daily, liberation through African education and confrontation. Black Power.